Welcome to step 8, creating the security certificates. In this step, we're going to do actual operational steps to get things done so that we can have secure access to a Kubernetes cluster. So let me go here and let me clear my screen to get away from some screen noise here. So I'm going to go into the Kubernetes interactive terminal. Going to type clear. You can hear it on my keyboard. Click, click. And then I'm going to interact with the interactive terminal using kata code as interactive commands. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create a user, and the user will be Dick Tracy, but I'm going to assign him to a environment variable called magic user because it's fun. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create a user key using OpenSSL genrasa. And I'm going to go OpenSSL genrasa. The output is going to be dicktracy.key. That's the name of the user key, and it's going to use 2048-bit encryption. Go there. Now, and this is important, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a certificate signing request. And when I do that, the command line options are going to be OpenSSL rec, give me a new CSR, and the key that I'm going to need is dicktracy.key, which I created up here. The output CSR is going to be dicktracy.csr. You're going to see that come out in a file. And the subject, and this is very important, is going to be a string expression, which is left over from the old days of lightweight directory access protocol, LDAP, for those of you that remember. And what this expression says is that I'm going to have a CN, a context name called magic user, which I got up here, which is really Dick Tracy. And this user is going to belong to the organization devs and the organization tech leads. And what this will translate into in Kubernetes is that Dick Tracy will belong to the group devs and also to the group tech leads. So I'm going to generate the SSL key, the certificate signing request. Whoops, made a mistake. And now you can see that the certificate signing request has been created. And let's just take a look to make sure everything's there. So there you go. There's the Dick Tracy key, and there's the Dick Tracy signing request. So we've done that. Good. Then the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take a look and make sure that the CA, the certificate authority key insert, exists within the environment. So I'm going to do that, and you can see there is CA key and CA cert. And this is required in order to make the certificate. Remember, the system administrators are going to make the certificate, and you're going to look down here, you need to look down here, and this is the actual command that the system administrator will do to create Dick Tracy's certificate. So we're going to go OpenSSL, and it's saying in is the Dick Tracy certificate signing request, and it's saying, by the way, the CA key is in etc Kubernetes PKI CA cert, and then the CA key, the CA cert, and the CA key is in etc Kubernetes PKI CA.key. And we're going to create a serial. We're going to create a serial certificate, and the output's going to be dicktracy.cert, and this certificate will be good for 500 days. So let's do that, and I've done it. Then the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to copy the cert and the key into the user's home directory here. So do that, and then let's do a little ls to make sure the cert and the key are indeed embedded in a discoverable area. Because in the next step, we're going to need the cert and the key in order to embed it into a new context for the Kubernetes new user, Dick Tracy.